Okay, guys, welcome back to the class. Now, for the average state, we can actually use shape map instead of using this normal map. But if you're going to use the shape map, you need to download the JSON file for the Nigerian shape or probably the world. Then you can actually edit it like that and then fix it into this one. That will be another long class. But for this class, I just want us to stick with this map like that. Let me zoom in so we can little bit of the Nigerian map. Okay, so now let me zoom in. So you can actually zoom in using your mouse. And then, that now let me remove or edit this because I want it to be a little bit different. Or probably I should use the heat map itself. Now you can turn your map to something like this dark, depending on how you want it actually. Depending on how you want it. Now you can actually remove your labels. Remove your labels if you want to. So for me, I will want to remove my labels. I don't want to show too much of the country stuff like that. Then there's a gray aspect I would like to use. Okay, this one actually works. Then let's use this light one. Then you can show your labels if you want to. Then let's use, I'm going to on my heat map so that I will not uh show, so that the bubbles on the map will not show too much. Then I'll just have it behind the scene like that. Then the general setup for this one, I can remove the title too, so that I have that for the view. I would love to use shape map, but that will take another long time. Although it's not hard, we can actually learn that for future purpose. But let's just stick with this. Let me click subscribe and add my. So let me just edit this map like this. So the shape map we have been very nice. We have been very nice. Let me click outside of see how the view look like. So now let's see if we can actually work on some little map settings. Settings I remove the bubble using shape map like that. Then let's see. Let's do it. Okay. Let me say see the background. Remove the background actually. Then let's have it like that. Let's have it like that. So I want to try and edit our map so that we can actually see a nice view from there. So I think let me remove the bubbles. Or I should resize it. I think it's It's too big. Let me lower it. Yeah, this one works. That one works. So I think that's that for that. So what we're going to do now is I'm thinking of removing the frame so that we can have something worthwhile from the map. Then we have our map a little bit bigger. Maybe we end it up for the stuff. Okay, also okay. Now this is the disadvantage of using shape. I'm not using shape map anyways. So let's see. So this should be aligned with okay. So let's go on to that end. So I can actually use this. So that's why there should not be. So I can actually work with this and then the average, the average pay by state, the header. Um, it should not be too far from stuff like that. Okay, so you can actually leave your border if you want your border because looking at it like the border might be a little bit necessary depending on how you want it actually. Depending on how you want it. So let me expand this. Then let me move this up. So that works. Now so I will just add I'll add the button slicer to it so that we can actually use it to navigate. Then we'll be done with this based on the fact that it's just very simple. We are not doing so much of interactive aspect of the visualization. So look at that thing. Nothing else. Now, nothing else. So let's quickly work on the slicer. Now, two things are involved. You can actually highlight where you want the slicer to actually affect, probably um the map. Then we have the expensive route. Let's see. You don't need to actually put um the slider because I want to use the types of car, the transport type to actually use it for the slicer. So the taxi, ferry, BRT bus. I want to use it for the slicer. Then I want it that when I click on those stuff, I'll get the price with their rating. Then the one here, then the one for the maximum and minimum. So let us also have button slicer. So when we have button slicer like that, you drag your data to the button slicer. So these are your button sliders look like. This is how it looks like. It makes things actually very interactive. So we now need to edit to do all the editing we need. So I'm going to bring it. I want to bring it to the top, like something like this here. So we have it at the top. So I will edit. I'll edit in such a way that we can actually see. It's probably yes. They are more 3, 6, 9, 10. So that should be visible. So let's simply run the editing. Let's see if we can slicer settings. If you want it to be selection it as one, then multi button layout, then the color value and the image. So now let's work with general settings. Now I don't want the type to actually show. Let's do the background should be on. Header icon should be on. So let's try and shape it in such a way that we can actually see. Um, so now we have the slider settings where we can actually show the first selection and all like that. But I don't want that. Let me clear the effects. Now if you notice that when we have when we have when I click on it, it actually change virtually everything. But I'm going to select the ones I want if the ones I want to show. Now the values inside I can actually change them with this if I want it like this. So the font probably let's make it very small. Then let's see if you want to make it in center or then if you want to change your color. Now I would love to let's I don't know if orange will do so that yes that is nice. So let me give it more deeper so that it can actually blend with other things. So now background is off, label is off. Then we can actually use image for our buttons, but we are not doing so much stuff. So now we can actually reduce the gap in between in between guys, that's the buttons actually. So depending on how you want to actually do it. So now let's quickly treat something on the buttons. Now for the buttons, I wouldn't want it to be a little let's say rectangular. I don't want it like that. Let's make this round. Then the cup, I'll increase the cup because I want it to actually bend like buttons. That is too much. Let's make it something like 8 or 10 or 15. I think 10 works. I think 10 works for me. Now the background, we can actually remove the background, but I think the white is not bad. But I'll change the background to be something a little bit not pure white, like something little bit white, so that it can actually reflect. So I can actually show you. Let me back to that. Okay, okay. I think the white that one to actually make sense. Now we can remove borders if we want to, so that it just look as if we are just working on it. So I don't like it like that. I like it when it's smooth. So you can basically see the exact button for each time. So we have different things actually. You can put a shadow into it if you want to. You can put glue if you want to, but all those ones will just make it more complicated, depending on what you want actually. Depending on what you want. Now, let me quickly get to format. I'd love to see. Okay, now this is the editing. You can actually edit the interaction. So what you do is that if you want to, the ones you actually want them to show, you can. I don't want it to actually reflect on this. You have to reflect on this. It's just the same thing. It should reflect on this. Yes, if you reflect on this, you reflect on this. Let me work. Let me check. It should not reflect on this one because it's almost the same thing. So on map we should reflect. I think that works. I think that works. So then when you click on interactions, for example, let's make example where to uh, we notice we only have it as the top most expensive route, and then there's a change on the map, and there's a change on our KPIs. So I think that is what I want. So let me clear the selection. So now let's see if we can have a longer button so that it can be on two rows. Then don't forget, I think I'm done with the formatting. Okay, let me save this so that it can come good. So now let's just edit these buttons. Let's make it smaller so we can actually have everything we need. So now I want to edit the button so that we can actually have it so nice. So what we do is that we go to multi-button layout. If you want it to be grid or horizontal, you can make it horizontal like that. So you have then if you want it in 3 columns, in 2 columns. So any how you want it actually, you can actually make in the let's say you want it grid in grid form like that. Then you want it to be two per row or everything in a row. Let's see the is size actually large. So now we can actually make in such a way that we have 6 column, 1 row, you have 10. So it depends on how you want it to look like. It depends on how you want it to look like. So my own I want it to look like I want everything to be on the same line actually. But can that actually work? So because of the size, so let's make it 2 column, 2 rows. Then we have column should be 5. Column should be 5. Then let's see if we can have it so like then we can actually edit where we have the gap. If we don't want the gap to be too much, we can increase it. We can reduce it also. So I wouldn't want the gap to be too much because of the size of the button. So I think this one should do. So now let's see if that one works. So I said the other time is how you can actually see beyond the number. That's make it work. Okay, first, so now this is what we're going to do now. We are going to reduce it a little bit so that we can have it. Okay, and this is a little bit different from what we planned for. Okay, let's see if we can reduce it a little bit so that we can have all the buttons um be shown on the map. Okay, we still have the buttons too. Okay, fine. We can actually reduce the size of the buttons. Okay, let's check. 2000. Then we have grid column 5. Then let's see the gap. Let's reduce the gap in between them. Let's reduce the gap in between them so that we have it like that. So I reduce the gap. Then also I don't need to take anything about the buttons actually. I don't need the corners and all like that. Let's see. I don't need anything there. Now let's not work on the size to make it smaller. So let me check. Let's check the font size, the font size. It should be in value. It should be in values, call outs, buttons, image selections. Okay, let me check for here. Okay. Sometimes this can actually be confusing on getting where to actually navigate to solve your problem sometimes. So so let's reduce the buttons so we can work with that. Okay, now let's check if we can actually have this for this. Let's see this one. Okay, I think this one is better. I think better off like that. So we have, let's shift this upward a little bit. I've not been to be on a straight line, but I'm looking at the names are so long. Names are so long. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I think that one should work. So far, this one is a little bit bigger than what we actually need. We can actually reduce the size for this one at the edge here. Not this. This the frame. Okay. So this can actually work. So let me place it like this so I can align a little bit closer to this. A little bit closer to this. So now I want to leave it like this. Although I can make it on a line, make it one column, then make everything on a straight line. But I would not want it not to give me every of the details, every of the details of the button. So I will prefer it like this, so that when people actually click on this, they can actually get that. So I can now what I'm going to do is I want to insert um a shape. Okay, there's a line here. Okay, don't let me use line. Let me use shape. Let me use a rectangular shape. So now so the rectangular shape will be like this. So so we can have the rectangular shape like this. So a shape so that we can actually buy it like this. Try to look more professional. Then the shape we can actually style it by changing the color. What should I use orange. I don't want no borders. So let me make it smaller. Let me make it smaller so that we can actually see it. Maybe that's the smallest it can actually go. So let's shift it a little bit. Now, I think I like this color exactly. So what I'll do is I'll check for color, then go to more colors, then copy the color code, click on this, then click on the shape, style, go to color also from here, more colors, then paste this so I can have the exact color. The fill I want to, okay, so that should work nice. So that's that for that. Um, so what other thing do we need to actually sort? Now I'm going to, I want the shade to be darker, good, to be darker than the normal one. Okay, nice. Now for this now, let me just shift, let me move this. I'll move this forward. Undo. So for this now, I'll move this forward. I'll move this a little bit forward. Then okay, for this, let me move it forward. For this now, let's move it forward. So we are done with the dashboard anyways, but I want to do a few editing. Let me move this forward. Transport fee analysis and all these two. Let's move it forward. So I'll place then this one too. Move it forward like this. Now what I want to do is I want to place an icon here. So we go to insert or we go to, let's do image, then let's go to image, then upload image, browse. We have flat icons here. So let me do this. I think this should work. Okay, so let's use this one. Transport view analysis. Or let's use the one with gold so that we can finish up this class. Let's use the one. Let me cancel this. Let's browse. Let's use the one with gold. It actually replicates money and all. Okay, that is better. So we have that like that. So we have have it like that. So we are done with the dashboard. So I want you to replicate this. Then if you have any adjustments you want to make, you can actually make them. Then let me see if I can screenshot my dashboard. Then make it big a little bit so it can, let's see, it's to size. So this is nice. So with this now we are done with the dashboard. So see you at the other side.